North American Challenger League is no longer being played for Pro League spots. Team Reciprocity announces it is going underground to remain operational and will no longer support its Rainbow Six team. Modern Day Esports parts ways with its co-founder amidst accusations of sexual misconduct. ESL finally concludes its exclusivity run with CG Sports. King George accuses another person of stream sniping or whatever. CaliberJacob is the worst caster in RuneScape history. Oh sweet, what are we going to talk about this week? Oh, never mind. First of all, hello. I hope you're all doing well and staying healthy. I took a couple of weeks away from YouTube to take care of my mental state and a few other things I talked about recently, and now I don't see a better time to come back, honestly. You should know there's a lot of things I want to talk about in this video, but through the course of this whole situation, we're discussing allegations without proof, one side of the story, and a lot of opinions can be made that are unjustified because additional information that could help clear this situation up is still being withheld from us. I've tried to take an objective look at both sides and play devil's advocate where I can, but it's hard to because of one entity. Ubisoft themselves. In this case, some may see it as people doing a little wrong to do a big right, but just how much of an impact this has remains to be seen. Let's start with the facts. Luminosity Gaming and Evil Geniuses are no longer a part of the Siege professional scene. I'm gonna try to stop calling it Pro League because that technically doesn't exist anymore. The reasoning for their departure is the tricky part. I don't think calling their performance into question is valid. Even despite EG dropping to dead last in North America this season, no relegations for Season 11 means you've got a ticket punched to the new pro system and both teams decide to up and leave their squads. In the case of Luminosity, a big reason for that seems to be a complete or near lack of communication on the part of Ubisoft to help the LG players adjust to the new North American LAN system that's happening in Las Vegas. Hyena's Twitlonger post about the situation paints a pretty bleak picture, especially since he's not even completely certain if he broke an NDA to disclose the information publicly. If this is a similar case for EG, I don't totally know, but since they're also gone, I would assume the situation is mirrored for them. Strike one for Ubisoft. This whole situation's also called into question something that Ubisoft confirmed earlier this year. North America, specifically, was supposed to transition into a 10-team league alongside Europe, and both seasons of Challenger League for that last season would be the teams that would get promoted. Europe still has this, but North America does not, because the season is now only being played for an increased prize pool. And this information was something that came out after every team had already qualified for that season, which at the time naturally enhanced speculation that those slots had already been claimed by two other teams. Now with two orgs and their teams being completely removed from the field, it looks a lot more likely that we'll just go right back to having 8 teams in North America anyway. By the way, the 2 teams that are rumored to be going in for next season is probably the worst kept secret in the scene if you just take 2 seconds to look on Reddit. And again, this is getting compounded by the fact that European Challenger League is still being played for Pro League spots, but North America got shafted in favor of something that they can't even fully comment on yet. Strike 2 for Ubisoft. Now, obviously, we knew this was going to be a rough transition. We're completely moving from one league system to another one after Pro League's conclusion. Of course, this was going to hurt a little. But further information that isn't being provided by the players themselves, whether or not they're breaking non-disclosure agreements to do so, isn't going to be coming quickly. Ubi themselves put up a very vague statement today that really doesn't say much, and I get they're trying to figure out how they want to phrase everything, but there's really no explanation that's going to soothe people's nerves right now. I think I understand their reasons for wanting to keep info on the new pro system on the down low, because when it gets announced, it's not going to be popular to a very vocal minority. I'm calling that right now. I don't want this to be the new norm, but we're stuck in a situation where we won't get more public info on what's next for Siege Esports because of the precedent set by the publisher to the orgs in the scene. But let's take a step back. Losing EG and LG hurts, I know. Losing Reciprocity didn't have anything to do with this situation, and those players are sticking together, and they've already got a new org that just hasn't been announced yet. But this is a rough patch. Siege Esports will continue to be a thing, and Ubisoft already has everything lined up that's going to get us through the next 2 years. I understand this sounds cruel, but the loss of several players and orgs, unless something monumental shifts within the scene, is not going to stop the roadmap from continuing to move forward. There will still be pro play, new majors, new point system, everything that's already been laid out. Whether we have 8 teams or 10 teams in the scene is enough of a minute point that it will not matter in the grand scheme of CG Sports right now. Is it acceptable that the guys who earned their way into Pro League are no longer a part of the new system? No, of course not. But losing them isn't going to prevent Ubisoft from moving forward unless something insane happens. Something like a mass exodus of organizations leaving the scene to like really make them sit up and go, wait, we made a mistake. This is a rough patch. It's a blemish on Siege's history, but once the new system is underway and normalized, I'm optimistic. I think we're gonna be fine. Anybody spelling doom for Siege as an esport saying that it just died this week is overreacting way too hard. It's just a blight on Ubisoft's reputation because they're staying mostly silent while players are risking their careers to speak out against this problem. And that could very well be Ubisoft's Strike 3. I truly wish the best to the players on Evil Geniuses and Luminosity. Your position is very unenviable, and I really do hope you guys land on your feet. Everything is going to be on fire for a little while until we get some stuff sorted out. Just know, we don't have all of the facts yet. I implore you to wait to rush to anyone's defense until a little bit more information comes from the mouths of the guys themselves. Think of this like a speed bump that we went through a little bit too fast. It's not the end of the world, but it is going to suck for the time being. That's all from me. Thank you for allowing me some time away while I focused on other things. Your comments made me feel like I've really got a place here and I don't want to let you down, so thank you very much for that. Hit up my Twitter, my Twitch, and this YouTube channel for more information on the situation as it continues to develop, and make sure you're caught up on the Hammered podcast with Gregor if you're not already. Links in the description. Thanks everybody. See you later. Peace.